Hey y'all, it's Horse Thief. Today I want to talk about building a deck in Once Upon a Galaxy, and before we get into any specifics, there are 5 deck facts that I'd like to cover. Number 1, there is an independent pool of cards outside of the deck builder that will be available for every single captain, every single game. Number 2, there's a second pool of cards that can only show up in the deck builder. If these cards are not included in your captain's deck at the start of your run, you cannot find them in the game. Number 3, each captain starts with 12 cards unlocked, and there are more than 50 cards to unlock for every single captain. Number 4, while the total batch of cards to unlock for each captain is the exact same, each captain will start with a unique set of 12 cards in their starter deck. Number 5, each deck must be full, aka you must start with 12 cards in your deck to start a run. Now, let's get into some specifics about deck building. Let's say I'm creating this deck for Witches 3. There are a few intermediate deck building thoughts I have in mind: shorting a rarity and planning ahead. You'll notice I've only included 1 common and 3 uncommon cards in this deck. This is very much on purpose. Including fewer cards at a specific rarity makes it more likely you'll find those cards. This is especially true on turns 1 and 2. The first 2 turns of the game have the smallest pool of cards on offer, making it much more likely to find key commons and key common silvers. In my Witches 3 deck, I've added Wormtongue as my only common card. My early game goal on Witches 3 is to find villains and get my first 2 back row slot buffs going. Wormtongue helps me fish out those extra villains on those crucial early turns. But this also expands into turns 3 and 4, where I'll find uncommon characters too. Here, I very deliberately kept my deck list short as well. My only 3 cards are Chaos, a villain that gives me a free spell, Morgan Le Fay, a range character that plays very well in the back row, and Sailor Moonshine, a pirate that can help me find Blackbeard later. On the uncommon turns, I'm still hoping to buy villains and add slot buffs. I'm also working on grabbing treasures that can help me both win right now and possibly find a big power spike very soon. Past turn 5, I think there are too many characters in the pool to effectively take advantage of shorting a rarity. Once you hit the rare levels, your job is now to build on your start. This is where planning ahead comes into play. Using this Witches 3 example, I'd be very interested to set up a board that can hunt easily. I'm a big fan of Jelly Roger helping me get first attack. I'm also going to be looking for treasures that can boost the rarity of a successive treasure. I'll have my eye on picking up something for True Love's Kiss for a chance at catching an early legendary or secret rare character. If all goes perfectly, I'll be well established by the time turn 9 hits. On turn 9, you get to the legendary levels. This is where I can find Blackbeard and Hercules and possibly start running away with the game. This is the last time that shorting a rarity actually does come back into play. While you can't really hunt for specific rares and epics, you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot by including too many legendaries in your deck. You'll notice I have 4 in there. Of course, Blackbeard and Hercules play together perfectly, and I could probably chase that strategy and win a whole lot of games. However, the rest of my pool of cards didn't really strike me as being more interesting than having an option to play Mephisto and Moonshadow, which can be a very strong strategy in its own right. Let's cap this off revisiting the main points. First, consider running fewer common and uncommon characters so that you have an easier time finding early silvers and golds. Also consider running fewer legendaries if they don't really work with whatever else is in your deck right now. 2, build your deck around a strategy. It does not even matter if it's the most powerful strategy in the game. Ultimately, having some focus to your deck is going to help you to focus, and also giving you a chance to play different strategies is going to make you a better player overall because you'll know how to navigate those strategies. Hopefully this gave you a couple of things to think about, and if you like this, please do like and subscribe. Drop a comment down there. I always like reading all of those. I do intend to take this game and extend it into a second tutorial video because there was a lot of good stuff to cover. Plus, it was just a really fun round of Once Upon a Galaxy.